L to the 5th. What? Bye-bye.
So here we are, right here, right now, and I'd like to take a moment to dive into, I guess, a perspective I've gained over my life on the differences between me, myself, and I. I think it's important to define them differently for me because those three aspects of myself are not the same. They don't think from the same place, they don't have the same basic needs, they're very, very different. And the one I'm going to break down to first is the me. As soon as I hear the word me, I think of the word we. They're immediately connected. All of my thoughts that revolve around me are in relationship to everyone else. How it is I interact with that person, and how it is I present myself in this situation. Those things are all revolving around the me. It's interwoven with everyone else. The next one I'd like to define is myself. I like to look at myself as my body. My body has certain needs. At times, it needs to be fed. It needs to go to the restroom. It needs to be worked out. It needs herbs. My body, it speaks to me. And sometimes, my body, it wants things that it shouldn't have. And I'm trying to decipher through all the things in my life that myself desires and which will lead me to my higher purpose, which goes into the third one, the I. The most important one, honestly. The I is, as we mentioned last time at the end of the video, the fifth dimensional sense of ourself. It's the gamer, the person who's looking down on the body and looking down on the emotions of the me, and it's kind of processing through it all and observing through it all and just kind of really just being present. That's the job of the I. And one of my goals this year is to think as often as I can from the I place. From the top of the triangle, what about this situation or person or diet or whatever I'm thinking about, how does that relate to my highest purpose? And what is it that I can get myself and me to do in relationship to my highest purpose, to the I? And so that's where we are. Me, myself, and I. We're all together right now on that agreement. We've all decided that we need to shift forward into the I. On to the next splitting topic. I am going to dive into characteristics of the mind. The mind operates from a dualistic perspective. Everything is divided into masculine, feminine, positive, negative, happy, sad. The mind dissects things into two things. This is wonderful because we have the opportunity to basically decompartmentalize all the things in our life that are either A, good for us, or B, bad for us. And that's different for every person. What's good for one person is not always good for somebody else. One person's medicine is another person's toxin, is all I'm saying. So, remember that when you give someone advice, because medicine and toxin can get very easily mixed. Especially people that naturally self-medicate. So anyway, as I move forward into this year, I'm going to be taking those views of the different dualistic sides of my mind, and I'm trying to move them into a state of witness, higher self. This is better. If we do this, we're going to go over here. This is fine. This will work for someone. This is definitely a good option for someone, and they can have that option. And it's releasing the tension we have about the two between the right and wrong and good and bad and this way and that way. When we release that separation from the two and all of a sudden they become just an experience and they're just wrapped up in one coin, when that happens and you can just move forward, then there's no guilt, there's no regret, and we can move forward into a state of happiness. Because again, we're not tossing enlightenment or Christ consciousness out there because goals, but happiness, acceptance, gratitude, for the ability to discern between the two. Like, it's just, it's infinite. The dualistic options of the mind can be seen infinite ways from the eye. So, use the eye. Since I created the first video, I've decided that every week there's going to be a little tidbit section because I do these long, long-winded explanations of life lessons, and I know that can be a lot for some people. So just to kind of give you an easy way to, go, hey, he's had that 7 tidbit section. Here it is. 7 tidbits from Lucas. Number 1, people should stop holding their phones to their faces when they have conversations. Let me tell you something. Holding a phone to your face for long periods of time and talking, the energetic strain and tension you're placing on yourself is not worth it. They make things like speakerphone, headsets, Bluetooth. Do those things. Earplugs. Earbuds. Don't plug it. Listen. That's number 1. Number 2 is use both hands when brushing your teeth. I know in the beginning it's going to seem kind of awkward and most of us haven't tried it, but give it a shot, see what happens. And in relation to number 2, I'm going to further explain something else. Number 3 is think about both sides. How do you put your socks on in the morning? Do you always reach for the door handle with the same hand? How do you comb your hair? 2 sides. God gave us 2. Number 4, and this one could be a little controversial, so cover the ears of the people that are not ready for this. Number 4, it's okay to be selfish. It's okay. The only way to be selfless is to be selfish. If you don't take the time to charge your bank, the emotional, the monetary, the whatever, if you don't charge your own bank by being selfish, it's impossible to give out, loans to people and money to people because you don't. So there we are. Number 5, spend 10 minutes every single day preparing yourself, meditating as to what it is you want to see, visualizing how the day could feel. Prepare. That preparation is just, it's good. Number 6, and it's probably the most important, it might be tied to number 7, is if you want something to happen, believe first. Believe, achieve. Believe, achieve, create, manifest. But you have to believe first. If there's no belief, it ain't gonna work. And then number 7 is tied into number 6, and again, they're kind of tied for first place as well, which is be grateful for everything you have right here. Even though there are needs and you have things that you want to believe to change, there has to be gratitude first. Without the gratitude first, it's must be grateful for what we have. We want more. 7 tidbits, and it was still 2 or 3 minutes long. I tried. I really tried. And we're off to the deepest part of this YouTube video. I'm going to dive into a bit of control drama. This is a larger tidbit after following the small 7 ones. Sometimes we find ourselves in situations where people are asking us tons and tons of inane questions, and we don't understand why it's like one thing after the other. It's like it's an interrogation, and it can be like, the girlfriend wanting to know where you are. It can be your boss trying to break down everything you did behind whatever. 2, there are the aloof people. They're the opposite of the interrogator. The people that are, their head is up in the sky. You're like, are you listening to me? Are you here? And you're trying to pull them in with attention. And number 3 are the intimidators. The people that go in and they're like, they get all buff and macho and they want you to feel a certain way. And people can do this in not just a buff and macho way. People can do this with any kind of emotion where they come in and they put their emotion on you. Like they want you to have it. And number 4, and the last one, the opposite of the intimidator, is the victim. The people that come in and they're having the worst day and all this negative vibration and drain, and they do not want your support. They do not want your advice. They want you to join them. And I'm just telling you right now, the answer to all those problems is to walk away. Walk away. Just bye. And it's okay. It's okay. after I finished that last video, I thought to myself, I should explain something a little more. Let me explain why walking away sometimes is the best solution to anything. Sometimes it's not best to say what it is that we feel like our personal truth is to someone, because it's not their personal truth and it's not going to resonate with them, and it's going to cause tension. It's going to cause uproar, and it's going to cause and that's not something that we want in our relationships, right? You know, sometimes you walk away because you want to conserve the relationship, and in doing that, you're also conserving yourself. Like, because there's nothing wrong with you feeling like that and them feeling like that. There's nothing wrong. Even when they're totally and completely backwards, people are valid in their own feelings. You know, everyone has their own reasons for why they feel a certain way, and not everyone understands everyone else's feelings all the time, so it's impossible to ever label one person's feelings right. So sometimes the walking away, it's so important, because it sets, first of all, a boundary of going, this is not okay, we probably just shouldn't talk about this, you know, I know how you feel, you know how I feel, but we don't need to talk about it, you know, that's fine. And in doing that, that self-conservation also teaches us to have self-love and to take care of ourselves and to keep our own energetic vibration and our own frequency to a certain place, because that's where we need to be. You know, no one deep down, I genuinely believe, no one wants someone to change to make them worse. And so if you have to walk away to self-conserve and self-love to keep your frequency at a certain vibration, that's good. It's healthy. It's okay to walk away, especially if you do it with love and gratitude as you go. That's it. L to the fifth.